Hi, I'm Rachel with Integrity Builders and Supply, and today we are here with Spencer Long from Genesus Genetics. Welcome, Spencer.
Thank you, Rachel. Very happy to be here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. So, this is, like I said, being sponsored by Swine. So, we just wanted to sit down with Spencer and have a conversation about their company, what they have to offer. So, Spencer, why don't you start off introducing yourself, talking about what Genesus Genetics does and how long you've been with the company.
Sure, yeah. So I'm Spencer Long. I've been with Genesus now for off and on, I guess, 7 years in between when I was in university and now full-time. So I primarily work out of the office in Ontario, Canada. Travel fairly extensively. As many people know, Jim Long, president of our company, he's my father. So yeah, I've been with the company for 7 years now. What does Genesus do? We're in the swine genetic industry. Obviously, we're one of the major swine genetic companies left around the world. And we started in Manitoba. The company was called Keystone Pig Advancement in the 1990s. And then further, we changed the name to Genesus in the early 2000s. And since then, we've grown it from just in Western Canada to doing business in 40 countries around the world. So we focus on Duroc, Yorkshire Landrace, continually improving those breeds. We only have purebreds. And we're also very focused on meat quality and having better tasting pork. That's something our company has believed fundamentally in for 25 years now, and we continue to push forward and develop.
So you've grown up in the industry, you've seen a lot happening.
Yes.
When did you become or know that you wanted to be a part of the Genesus team?
I think the exposure I had from an early age when I was given the opportunity to travel with my father and other Genesus employees around the world to parts of Europe, parts of Asia, got to sit in on the meetings, see how the industry is, see how the pig industry is around the world, and realize that pig people are good people everywhere you go in the world, regardless of geopolitical situations or other issues ongoing. And I think just that early exposure just made me excited by it, and I just see the opportunity and with this company, how much it's grown over the last 10 years. And I guess, I don't know what age I was exactly when I wanted to join it, but it was pretty early on. And I've never deviated or wanted to do anything else because I love being part of it and getting the opportunity to do it every day.
Over your years in the swine industry, what are some of the changes you've noticed?
The consolidation. I'm still fairly young, but from what I've heard at the World Pork Expo 20 years ago, there may have been 50 plus genetic companies to a varying degree. Now you have a handful of major ones. You might have a few smaller breeders, but global genetic companies, the consolidation of it, now you could argue there might really only be 7 that are left in the entire world, and that number isn't going to increase. It's only going to likely decrease further and consolidate further. We see that with the pig industry as itself as well. When you see the World Mega Producers, which we put out, which is 100,000 sows plus of companies with 100,000 sows each year, we see that the number of companies growing year in, year out as more family farms, unfortunately, in parts of the world just go out of business. We obviously see the financial difficulties here in the North American market that are ongoing, that have hammered people and are not creating more pigs. It's decreasing. You have people exiting the industry, and that's only going to increase further, I would suspect, and we're seeing it, and it's unfortunate, but it's just the reality of our situation and the further consolidation that we will likely see in the years to come.
So with the consolidation, how is that a positive for Genesus?
I think it's a positive if we can get in the door and talk to these bigger companies. Obviously, with larger integrators and these companies with large amounts of sows, if you can get in the door and show that if your pigs prove themselves, then they've got larger numbers. At the end of the day, if it is more consolidated, you get into one big company, they start using our genetics, they go, these are a lot better than anything we have. Well, then they're going to start buying a lot more, a lot quicker. So from that perspective, it's better. Maybe not better, but that's, I guess, a positive note of it compared to if you have a lot of smaller producers, then you have to make a lot of different other, sales calls and a lot of different things. But if you can get in with these bigger integrators, these bigger companies, then the opportunity is there, I guess.
Sure. But products or services are your favorite at Genesus Genetics that you would want people to know about if they didn't?
I guess the products we really only do are swine genetics. So at the end of the day, we focus on 3 breeds: Duroc, Yorkshire, Landrace, all registered purebreds. And so our terminal is our Duroc, and then Landrace, Yorkshire, F1 is our commercial. I would say biggest thing that we focused on for decades now, going on 25 years, is producing better tasting pork. While the industry in the 1990s was going to the other white meat, chasing chicken, we stood alone and fundamentally believed this is the direction we believed that we needed to go in a different direction compared to the industry and produce red meat, marbling, good pH, good tenderness, pork that's flavorful that people want to buy more of. And because of that, we've developed our Jersey Red Duroc over those years to be the best tasting Duroc in the world, we fundamentally believe. And when you cross it with our F1, you get great production.
What's your favorite kind of pork?
Favorite kind of pork? I love bacon. I would have to say, I mean, maybe that's cliche because who doesn't like bacon?
Right.
But especially our bacon. I mean, our bacon, not biased at all, but like it's yeah. But honestly, I think any kind of pork is. I think it was the chef Anthony Bourdain said my favorite vegetable is pork. It's that's all you want to eat, right? So the more pork, the better.
What are the hot topics that you are seeing, or Genesus Genetics is seeing in the pork industry, you think?
I think right now, here in the North American market, it's just the further consolidation we're seeing because of the extreme financial difficulties people are feeling. I know there's been some producers that have said this is worse than 1998. Now, I wasn't old enough to remember 1998, but we hear the stories about how bad it was then and the ongoing sow liquidation and seeing just these large integrators, these family farms just closing down farms and emptying them. I think right now that's the biggest thing because we have the ongoing issue of worry about high feed costs again, if that's going to cut into people's bottom line, because at the end of the day, we really got to try and survive this because we believe as a company, we work around the world in different markets that China is going to be in the business of buying pork. They're going to need it because the ASF has been a massive problem there. Europe prices are super high because they had the liquidation that we're kind of having now in North America, but they already had it. And so our prices should rebound. When? That's anyone's guess at this point. I think most people would have thought it already would have happened by now. But I guess we have to all stick together and survive this because I think we're going to come out the other side a lot better off because we're going to have very strong prices going forward.
Who, with you being in the pork industry, who has been a mentor or inspiration for you over the years?
I would probably have to say my father. I
kind of figured that.
That was an easy one. Yeah, growing up around the pork industry, obviously around my dad, being exposed to it at an early age, seeing how much the company has grown over the years, it's very exciting, and getting the opportunity to travel with him has been, I'm incredibly blessed, and I'm grateful every single day because of that, because of the exposure I've been given. I would certainly say, yeah, my father in the pork industry, but you meet a lot of really good people, mentors over the years, people within our company,
right.
Producers, people with other organizations. The pork industry is full of really good people. It really is. You go anywhere in the world and pig people are just pig people. There's obviously differences in culture, but at the end of the day, people just want to have a livelihood. They want to put food on the table. They want to do what they love doing. They love being in this industry. So there's a lot of different people that I've met over the years that have taught me certain things here and there that I'm always appreciative of, and I hope I will learn something from them.
Right.
And so I guess my father first and foremost, but there's been a multitude of different people from all over that have been good influences, I would say.
I mean, I would have to agree with you because people are so kind. They're so willing to speak to you. If you have a question, there's so many people willing to help. It's been just a really fun industry to be a part of.
Yes, it is.
So yes, and you are very grateful and blessed to have Jim Long as
people
your
ask
father.
me what's it like having Jim as your father, and I go, well, I don't know any different. So I don't know.
He sounds like an amazing dad. What is the vibe that you're feeling here at World Pork Expo 2023?
I think optimism, cautious optimism. I think people that are here, for the most part, are happy to be here. They chose to be here.
Right.
Well, unless they're working here, working a booth or working somewhere here, then they were forced to be here. But the producers that are coming, they are cautiously optimistic. I think people can see that, well, put it this way, either our price is going to recover some or there won't be a pork industry. So it's sort of like we're going to see that liquidation. I think people can see through the summer months that we are going to have prices rise, and hopefully feed costs remain relatively low as they can be, and people can get become liquid to a degree, so we can stop having losses, because it seems like through COVID for the last 3 years, it's kind of just been pretty brutal for people in North America. But the people here seem to be fairly happy and cautiously optimistic for the future, and it's always good to be here to see all the different faces and different people and see good pork people, right?
Exactly. Like, I've been impressed with the crowds picking up here at World Pork Expo 2023, so super excited to see everyone. It's always nice to see them in person. So for the people that are new to World Pork Expo, and you've been here several years, what can people expect, and why should they come to World Pork Expo?
I think I think the reality is you come because in a way it's where the action is. It's where you get so many producers, you get so many companies exposed, showing different products and displays and things like that. Good food, lots of opportunities to meet with different people in the industry. I think it's a great networking event too. You get the opportunity to meet so many different people you might not meet otherwise, because the industry you can be in your one little county and really not know what's going on in other parts of your state, but you kind of come here and you can be exposed to producers from all over the country, all over the world for that matter, companies from all over the world, and you can learn a lot based off that and meet with lots of good faces, see familiar faces, and hope all drive forward together.
I love the fellowship here. I love the activities that they have going on, and it's so nice because you talk to so many people either via email, newsletter, on the phone, and this is the one place we get to see everyone in person.
Yeah,
so.
It is. During COVID, and then the year before that when it was canceled with ASF ongoing in Asia, it was so we had 2 years where we didn't have it, and it was kind of, I think 2021 came around and everyone was kind of ramped up to get back here and pretty excited. So. And it always seems to be a pretty happy environment, even despite sometimes of the ongoing financial challenges.
How can people contact you and Genesus Genetics?
So they can go to www.genesus.com. They can email me, spencerlong@genesus.com, if they want to. Just exactly how it sounds, exactly how it's spelt. I'm more than willing to talk to anybody about anything. Obviously, we put out pork commentaries, global market reports every week, so we try to put out information for people to read. Obviously, a lot of people know about the Jim Long pork commentary, they're aware of that. Yeah, we try to put out a lot of information, but if anybody wants to contact me, or info@genesus.com is another email they could possibly use if they can't get through my email if they, for whatever reason. That would be, I guess, the easiest way.
Great. And then what social media channels can consumers or people interested in learning more find you at?
Sure, yeah, so with our Jersey Red Duroc, we've got, that's exactly how it's spelt on TikTok. That's where we put out some videos of cooking videos with our chef in Manitoba. That's what we like to put out videos on there, so we like to cook our own pork and put out some recipes and show people that. Also LinkedIn as well.